did I ever tell you guys a story, anecdotal story here? I don't know, you guys are like, okay, move on, please. But, when I was growing up, I had my own computer, but we didn't have internet. We had one internet, like in the house, one cable for my dad's office room, because he worked out of the home. And my computer didn't have internet. And oftentimes during shareware, I would get a shareware disk from my friend. It came with HTML pages advertising something within the disk. And I clicked on the HTML. I'm like, holy shit, internet! It's an offline page, but I'm pretending to be on here. It's fucking awesome. And then you're like, wait, I can switch out the HTML. I can make my own internet. Like there's a skit on Tim and Eric called The Internet. And that was like my childhood growing up. The fake internet, yeah. The internet. Download the internet. And I remember the day. I've told the story before. The first time I ever played online was, I think, Wunswap. It was called. It was before Steam. It was Counter-Strike 1.5 or 1.6. I went to a random server and it was grenades only on the dust, right? And I remember typing for the first time, because my prior experience to playing online was not to play online. It was to play with bots. It was going to the console and add _bot, and you would just play with, the computer. And I remember I was so baffled the fact that these were other human beings I was actually playing with. And I was like, so innocent. I said, is this real? Is this real? And they're like, yeah. And I just kept asking, is it real? Are you guys actually here? Like I was just baffled, mind blown. I had a moment like that with my dad recently because, again, I got on my PlayStation. He's been playing NHL all day. And he wanted to check out online. And I'm like, is he ready for this kind of environment? Because he's the kind of guy that thinks you have to, like, shake people's hands online to play with them. Like, hello, my name is this. I live here. Let's play a game of hockey. Let's click play together. Like it's like a total different mindset. And I had realized that the PlayStation controller has open mic that's active constantly. And oftentimes I'm sitting next to my dad telling him where to press and stuff like that. So the other person that was listening to my dad play was hearing me say like, Dad, you got to hit the button. You got to hit the button now, Dad. Dad, no, go back. It's the square button. Left. And some other guy's like, what the fuck's going on? I'll tell you maybe a story about that later on, but it did evolve into me actually having a conversation with the other guy. Okay, I'll tell you it now. Okay. My dad got his first taste ever of internet online shit talk. And what happened was the guy on the other end had enough, and he said, it was a local Swedish guy. And you know how you hear the PlayStation thing all muffled? It's like you hear from the controller. My dad got like jump scared by the voice. And the guy went, "You fucking suck." And my dad was like, "What? The controller just talked." So I quickly snatched the controller, and out of pure 2006 console war, I'm sorry, you guys are like, please play this game. I don't want to hear your stories. But I snatched the controller out of his hand, not like, come here. I was like, yeah, come here. And I went into the microphone, and I said, I forgot what I said, but it was something like, it's like, I was like, noob, you're noob. And then he said that you sound fat. He said that I sounded fat. And I said, I'm 200 kilos, but most of that is my nuts. And my dad was shocked. He's like, well, you can't say that stuff. You can't say that stuff. And then it just evolved into like, this is why, Dad, you should not play online. But yeah, I'm worried that he goes online sometimes and plays with people. But okay, final say about this, and again, I'm going to move on. My dad wants me to also get a PlayStation 5. I don't have one myself. I got him one. He wants me to play against him, like, locally, right? Like, through online. But he said, I'm worried, though, Joel. And I said, why are you worried? And he said, will all those viewers on your video stream critique my gameplay? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, can they sneak in? And I said, you talking about like the Twitch audience? It's like, yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself. And I said, no one can like watch a game unless I stream it. They can't just like fill the arena with actual people. It's like, well, you don't know that. He thinks that the virtual arena in NHL is actual people sitting in the audience online. You know, spyware. maybe I should do this. Would you guys like to have my dad play against me on hockey? But I gotta severely reduce my power level. I'm gonna let him win. Listen, I do not have such a rotten heart to embarrass him in front of like 3,000 people. But the problem is that my dad lets that shit go to his head, and he will never let me not fucking hear about it. Like, he'll tell Christmas, like at Christmas tables, stories about like, you know, I embarrassed my son in hockey in front of all his viewers. And he plays video games all the time. Well, it just goes to show that, you know a little bit about real life hockey experience, and it really, adds something. And those video game nerds, they don't really know anything. And then I'll have to sit there and be like, yes, Dad. Guys, I have gone on a extreme tangent. I apologize. But yeah, my dad comes from a very different world when it comes to video game stuff. And yeah, I think it's adorable in a way because he doesn't have that perspective like we do. All right, well, the question is, will this fucking show up on the thing here? Hang on.